Ace James. I'm in a smoke session with Squirrel. You already know what's up.
Man, it's your boy Danny, that guy. This smoke session with Squirrel. You know what's going on, man.
Rewind it a little bit and play it again, you know what I mean? While we in this smoke session with Squirrel.
Okay. And it's your boy Squirrel. Who we got today with me?
Big old kid, man, RBPs and that type of shit.
Smoke session with Squirrel.
Hey, smoke section with Squirrel. Have some throat sex with your girl, motherfucker.
Yeah, go follow Smoke Session with Squirrel. Go follow that page right now.
Yeah.
Blow a cutie or some marshmallow, shot on apple sky. It's Smoke Session with Squirrel. I'm about to take off, smoking on some tropical runts. It blow your face off. Yo, it's your boy Squirrel, man. Smoke Session with Squirrel. We're in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest.
Yeah.
And we got Anella Herim in the building. Tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us where you're from.
Hey, what's up? My name is Anella Herim. I'm from Trinity, North Carolina. I'm 21 years old, and I make human music.
Human music. Okay, I like that. That's a little different. When did you get into the music?
So I got into it. I was about 4 years old. I started learning how to play drums because my dad grew up in church. He was the praise and worship leader. So he put me on a few instruments when I was little, and then I got in middle school band, and in high school I started writing and working on garage band, and so I've pretty much been doing it my whole life, but professionally probably about 3 or 4 years.
So you started doing it on garage band and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When did you, so with your dad being a worship leader, did you learn how to do a lot of the different instruments and stuff, read music and all that stuff?
So he taught me how to play drums, and then when I got into middle school, I learned the saxophone and stuff like that, like woodwinds and brass instruments, and like marimba and piano. And then I got into guitar like my 7th, 8th grade year, and then ever since then I just picked it up off like YouTube University. So.
When did you start dropping, like actually recording and dropping music?
So my first song, I started writing when I was like 7th, 8th grade, but I dropped my first song on SoundCloud. I want to say my freshman year of high school, might have been my sophomore year, but it's a horrible track.
Oh, track?
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
It's called Just Lie.
Just Lie?
It's a great start point, but it's nothing like we got now.
When did you start taking it serious, actually serious with music?
I've taken serious my whole life. I pretty much, this is the only thing God gifted me with. Let me not say that. God gifted me with a lot of things, like good family, good friends, good team, but this is the only thing that I feel like I can translate and interpret, fluently without, this is the only language I understand to a T, you know what I'm saying? So it's how I portray my emotions.
What was that song that you dropped that got the attention of people that made you be like, okay, I'm starting to actually rock with it?
So in high school, it was a song called I Never Met You, and it was on SoundCloud, and we actually re-released that a couple years later, but in the industry, it was a song called No One. I wrote it my sophomore year. I think I put it out my junior year and my senior year, something like that. When I figured out that you didn't have to be famous to be on DSPs, like I found DistroKid and stuff like that, so I dropped a project called Mixed Emotions, and No One was a track on that, and I was actually playing No One at a bar where I met Malik, my manager, and he took me to Sud, and I played No One at that, and that's how me and Sud locked in. And then one of my other partners, DA, heard No One, locked in, and now we're with Def Jam, and Tunji, when we had met up and ate and talked, that was the record he brought up. So really that record, No One, is what got me where I am today. I'm super grateful for that, but I actually produced it on GarageBand. So
that's crazy. A lot of people don't really like to do it on GarageBand. Gotta be kind of tough.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, you know what I'm saying?
The actual game GarageBand?
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's wild.
I recorded off some earbuds, like the ones with the wire, you know what I'm talking about?
So did that make it easier when you got into an actual studio with the equipment you needed?
Oh, so much easier. I really had to learn what was going on before I just, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for where I started because I really developed an understanding for the equipment and what it was doing. And I still my engineer, 24, he's taught me 10 times more than I knew, but I can kind of guide him where I need him to go rather than just saying, make it sound like this or make it sound like that. Like I know the terminology, so I'm very grateful that I started out.
So you might not have thought that by your dad being a worship leader that would turn out to you being able to do production, but really him starting you with the drums helped you a bit being able to create.
Oh yeah, he always told me you can always find a beat keeper, but it's hard to find a drummer. So he showed me a lot. Yeah, definitely gave me my rhythm.
So we talked about your manager and talked to you about how you linked up with Sud. What was that like linking up with Sud and starting to work with that?
So Malik took me to my first studio and we recorded a track called Stallin'. And we had entered in a music video giveaway on Instagram. And I was at a golf course one day and he had texted me and he's like, yo, we won the giveaway, we gotta shoot this music video. So we went and shot that, and then Sud was throwing No Stress Fest. It was the 10-year Travis Porter anniversary in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I think it was July 26, 2020, maybe? Something like that. So, yeah, so we pulled up. I was supposed to perform like third or fourth, but the people that were supposed to perform didn't show up, so they ended up throwing me on stage first. It was my first time performing with wireless mics. I had my acoustic guitar there. This is like a rap show, like so I got up on stage. Like, so it was like, yo, what's your name? And I was like, Nella. He's like, where you from? I was like, Trinity, North Carolina. He's like, I bet. He's like, so next up, we got Anella Herim coming to the stage. I was like, or not next up, I was the first one to go on. So I was definitely nervous. I ain't never done nothing like that. But I met him, and then I ended up posting a Don Toliver cover on my Instagram for Lemonade. And he had commented on it and DM'd me, and he was like, let's work. So me and Malik and him locked in the studio that night, recorded like 4 or 5 songs, and ever since then, we've been working every day.
I heard you say you with Def Jam now as well.
Yes, sir.
Is that a distribution or is that an actual deal with Def Jam?
No, I'm with Def Jam fully.
That's what's up.
That's family.
And just me being around the last couple of years, I've gotten to see this, you know, and I met you through Doobie and Highlight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I actually got to see that, man, and just seeing you be signed to Def Jam now, that just sounds crazy. It don't sound crazy because it's talented.
But it's insane.
But seeing it, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like actually getting to see that.
Yeah. Shout out SCFMG.
Was that one of the first actual tours that you went on?
With Doobie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he took me on my first tour. It was the not the Batshit Crazy tour, but the mini Batshit Crazy tour was my first tour. And he took me to a bunch of cities along the East Coast and in the Midwest. And Doobie showed me a lot of love. Doobie definitely. I got to learn a lot of things early, and I got to see a lot of things early. And I'm very grateful for Highlight, Doobie, and Crash. You know, we got a few songs together, so those are some of the first like industry, but those are some of the first family I met in the in this community. So I'm really grateful for that.
Do you think that hitting the road like that helped you get your name out there and actually build that fan base that you're looking for?
Of course. Oh my gosh, I got so much love in Columbus, Ohio, and so many of the spots we went, like Indiana. I've still got people that listen to my music every day and are active on my platforms and comment and share, and you know what I'm saying? They gave me a lot of things. So
that's what's dope though. When you got good talent, you got music like that, and you just get out there, you get around humble people, and you be a humble artist, man. People want to just show that love and just be out there.
It's insane. I'm blessed. I'm extremely blessed.
So, what's the most important thing you could probably say to these new up-and-coming artists, as you're an up-and-coming artist yourself, getting in, that what they should do or what they can do to help push their music?
Man, learn when to talk and learn when to listen. There's a lot of people around here who have no idea what they're talking about, and there's a lot of people out here who know exactly what they're talking about, and learning the difference in those two, because they sound almost the exact same. So that's the most difficult part, but once you get that down, it's really just learning, you know, when to butt in and when to stay out of it, because a lot of people spill a lot of game without realizing it. So
Learning when to speak and learning when to listen. That's good.
For real.
A lot of people don't. Everybody thinks they know everything.
No, I'm still learning. Yeah, for real.
Everybody. Some probably still learning. You know what I'm saying? It's the process of things. Like, you know, people they think they just know everything.
No, that's what it's about. And once you realize you don't stop learning, and that's when you understand the game.
So you got a new single out.
Yes, sir. Tequila.
Tell them about that.
So I got a track called Tequila. I produced it and wrote it about 2 years ago, and we put it out on all platforms this past month. It's been doing really great. You know, the video's going up. We released it with Def Jam, so if y'all can go stream that on SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, YouTube itself, like, I really appreciate it. Tell me what you think about it. It's a real heartfelt song, and it's a piece of me that I put out to the world to hear, so I hope everybody enjoys it.
Is that a single for an upcoming project, or right now you're just building it up, just dropping singles, trying to keep the motion?
Right now, I'm trying to build a family. So once I get a big enough house, we'll put out a body of music. But I want people to. I like to introduce myself before I just unleash every emotion I've ever had in my head in a project, because it's a lot. it's very personal. So
I like you said that you want to build a family, because I was just actually explaining to an artist I was on the pod before, like sometimes it ain't always the best route to drop a project.
no,
Because if you can't get a person to listen to 1 or 2 songs, how you gonna get them to listen to 12?
yeah, for real.
And then that 12th or 11th song might be your favorite song that you ever did, or one of the best songs you
And
ever
they
did.
don't make it to it.
They don't even listen to it.
No.
So it's dope that you're doing that by dropping the singles, just trying to keep it moving, trying to just build that fan base, build that credibility. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure.
Do you have a next single that you got ready to come, or you just gonna try to push this and see what happens?
So right now we're figuring out what we want to do, but I'm gonna keep pushing the single Tequila. You know, like I said, I'm still learning. So at the end of the day, my job is to entertain, and I got to figure out what people want and how to give it to them. So that right now I'm just learning that, and once we figure that out, I'm gonna build a whole empire around it.
So last thing, what's your plan? What's the plans for Anella coming next, moving forward?
Man, No Stress, Dog Records, Vision. We got a whole family base, a whole empire going up. So my plan right now is just to introduce, you know, my friends, my fans, and my family to everybody that I got around me, because I have an impeccable team. So I think once you get to know me and once you get to know the people around me, you'll understand my music a little bit more. And I think being able to get more in depth is my goal right now. So once I really feel like people know me, and I really feel like I can get to know people, and there's no more of this social media, you know, TikTok cap, like, that's what I'm planning on going right now.
Well, how important? Because I do see a good team around you, and it takes a good team.
Insane.
How important is it for a person or an artist to have a good team? To have a team, period.
You are the team. Like, an artist is a team. Your team isn't an artist, so it's like what you build is what you are. So the people you have around you are what you put out to the world, and if you're the only one pushing, I mean, no, there ain't nothing wrong with that, but like I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, the more people pushing, the better it gets. So having somebody you trust and having people that understand and believe and have faith in what you're doing and really wants you to succeed to the fullest, you know, your fullest capability is what it's all about. Because the more people you know, the further you go. You know what I'm saying? That's what a fan base is. So really having a team that are your #1 fans, that's what you need to look for.
Nice.
All right. And tell the people where they can find you and find all your music, and let them know where they can find you on social media.
Man, it's Anella Herim, Trinity, North Carolina. That's ANELLA space HERIM on all platforms. Look me up, stream the music, follow me, DM me, text me, tell me what's up. I'd love to get to know you, and I appreciate y'all, bro.
Yes, sir. I appreciate having you on.
Right.
Hey, the Smoke Session with Squirrel, man. Make sure you go to YouTube and follow the official video. Smoke Session with Squirrel. We out.
Sir.